Imagine burning your own boat, so there's literally no turning back then, charging into battle and toppling a kingdom in weeks. Sounds insane. Welcome to 711 AD. I'm Infinite, and on Infinitia Verity we're diving into the wild story of how 7,000 Moorish cavalry rode into Spain, crushed a divided Visigoth army at the Battle of Guadalete, and kicked off 800 years of Al-Andalus. Think of it like a tiny startup taking down a giant corporation, except with swords, horses, and Byzantine intrigue. We'll see why Visigoth nobles were too busy fighting each other to notice the real threat, how Tariq ibn Ziyad's bold no-ships tactic became legend, and how diplomacy helped the invaders turn conquerors into governors. By the end, you'll know how a handful of riders reshaped Spain forever. If you're ready for betrayal, daring feats, and the birth of a medieval golden age, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell now, because this story gallops at full speed. Alright, picture Spain in 711 AD as a massive group project gone horribly wrong. The Visigoths are the team leaders, except half of them are screaming at each other over who gets credit, and the other half have already quit and gone home. King Roderic's coup. Roderick stormed the king's seat around 710, pushing out the previous ruler, Attila II. Suddenly, Visigoth nobles split into two camps, Team Roderick in the southwest and Team Aquila in the northeast. Nobody agreed on deadlines, let alone defense plans. Nobles versus nobles. In provinces like Baetica, Tarraconensis and Cartagena, local lords acted like mini-CEOs, raising their own armies, setting their own taxes and refusing to answer to anyone. Coordination zero, unity forget about it. Unhappy underclass, Hispano-Romans and Jewish communities had been under strict Visigothic rules, extra taxes, bans on some jobs, and the occasional forced conversion. Many of these groups were ready for a change, or at least a break from the chaos. Enter the Umayyads. Across the Mediterranean, the Umayyad Caliphate was booming. Picture a tech giant expanding into new markets. Governor Musa ibn Nusair saw an opportunity to acquire Spain's assets. He tapped Tariq ibn Ziyad, a fearless general, and sent him with 7,000 well-trained Berber and Arab troops across the Strait of Gibraltar in April 711. Perfect timing. Roderick's team was busy fighting internal skirmishes when Tariq hit the shores at Gibraltar, a fortress on a rock that now carries his name. With Visigoth morale tanking and no unified command, the stage was set for one of history's quickest power grabs. Next up, we saddle up with Tariq's force for the Battle of Guadalete, where speed, surprise, and a dash of legendary drama decide Spain's fate. Ready? Let's ride! Buckle up, because this is where history turns into high-stakes drama. We'll follow Tariq ibn Ziyad's shock invasion from the moment his ships touched Spain's shores. In April 711, Tariq ibn Ziyad, an audacious Berber commander, landed at Gibraltar with about 7,000 troops. Legend says he burned the ships to show there was no going back. Whether or not he torched wood on the beach, the message was clear. Win or die, there's no plan B. Imagine a startup CEO destroying the office building behind them, so employees can only move forward wild, right? His force was small, but well-trained in lightning raids and cavalry tactics. They carried light armor, long lances, and horses bred for speed. On day one, they seized Algeciras, a coastal town without a proper siege. The locals, caught off guard and leaderless, surrendered when Tariq promised safe treatment. That early victory sent whispers through Spain's divided nobles. Something big is coming. Back at the Visigoth capital, King Roderick was scrambling. News of the landing reached him around June 711. He rallied nobles from Toledo, Cordoba, and Seville, gathering a force possibly numbering 20,000, 30,000 men. Problem was, half those nobles doubted Roderick's cause. It was like asking two rival neighborhood gangs to team up on the fly. Chaos ensued. Nobles bickered over rank and spoils, supply lines clogged. Tariq, knowing Visigoth weakness, didn't wait for reinforcements. He pressed inland through the fertile lowlands, using Roman roads that threaded beneath olive groves and vineyards. Within weeks, he stood near the Guadalete River, a broad waterway east of modern Cadiz. Date, likely July 19th, 711. Location, near modern Medina Sidonia on the Guadalete bank. Tariq lashed out with light cavalry, fast horses with long lances darting to the flanks of the Gothic lines. Visigoths responded with shield wall formations, but gaps formed as tribal contingents refused to fully commit. Two of Roderick's cousins, Sisbert and Oppa, allegedly withdrew their troops at a critical moment. Imagine a schoolyard tug-of-war, where one side suddenly lets go of the rope, everyone on that side goes flying. With chaos unleashed, Tariq's cavalry galloped in, surrounding pockets of Gothic resistance. Within hours, Roderick was killed in the melee. By sunset, the Visigoth army had collapsed. The field was littered with broken swords, torn banners, and bodies. With Gothic power shattered, Tariq split his army into three contingents: Northwest Force under Tariq himself, which rode to Toledo, the Visigoth capital; Central Force directed toward Cordoba; Southeast Force that seized Seville, Murcia, and Granada. By 713 AD, Muslim control extended from the Strait of Gibraltar up to the Tagus River. In 713, Musa ibn Nusayr's son signed the Treaty of Tudmir with Visigothic Lord Theodemir in Murcia. Visigoths kept their land, religion and leadership. They paid yearly tribute and submitted to Moorish political authority. Within 3 years, the Moorish army transformed into a governing class. They repaired roads, reopened irrigation canals. They built mosques alongside churches, sometimes converting basilicas into grand hypostyle halls. Arabic became the language of government. Irrigation revived dead farmland, rice paddies sprang up near canals. The name Gibraltar literally comes from Jabal Tariq, meaning Tariq's mountain. When the dust settled, Spain wasn't the same. The Visigoth Kingdom vanished in a single afternoon, but the real magic was what came next: Al-Andalus. Power shift. The Moors went from raiders to rulers overnight. They patched broken roads, reopened olive and grape farms, and turned old Visigoth estates into irrigation hubs. Think turning a busted car into a sports car. Cultural remix. Christians, Jews and Muslims all lived under the new dhimmi rules. Pay your taxes, follow the law, and you can keep your faith. It was like a medieval Airbnb. Stay in our kingdom, pay the host fee, and enjoy local customs. Golden Sparks, Cordoba sprang to life. Markets buzzed, mosques rose, and libraries filled with Greek and Roman books translated into Arabic. Scholars from every faith argued over Aristotle in coffee houses, 7 centuries before modern cafes. Long game. This wasn't a quick occupation. Over 800 years, Moorish Spain influenced Europe's science, art, and food: rice dishes, irrigation canals, algebra. Even today, when you eat paella or admire a horseshoe arch, you're tasting and seeing the Moorish aftermath. And that's how a few thousand cavalrymen rewrote Spain's story, burning ships, toppling kingdoms, then building a civilization that lasted 8 centuries. From Visigoth rivalry to Moorish marvels, Spain became a tapestry woven with Roman roads, Islamic arches, and shared ideas. So next time you stroll through a courtyard, sip saffron-tinged paella, or use a word that starts with Ali, remember, those are echoes of Tariq's bold gamble. History isn't just battles and borders, it's the everyday magic left behind. If you loved this whirlwind ride through conquest, culture and legacy, hit like, subscribe and share your favorite Moorish Spain fact in the comments. On Infinitia Verity, we turn history into your next obsession. See you next time.